Okay, I think I'm done with the setup. I know this is way later than I normally do, but I hope everyone's doing well tonight. It has been far too long since I've been on, but I've had a busy week as well. How's it going, Leaf? I hope you're doing well. I'm like organizing just a little bit more before I switch over to the actual stream. Okay. Now we can move over. There we go. Let's get out of the way. There we go. I wanted to have a little Halloween outfit by this time, but I don't think I'll have it ready. It might actually be like a week late. What's up, AR? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today I wanted to keep it a little bit chill and do something fun for myself. I mean, not that painting in general isn't fun, but I am kind of coming off of a little bit of excitement from my most recent crusade bout for my custom chapter and all that. For those that don't know, and I'll explain again, local game store is hosting a crusade and all that stuff, and I've taken part, and I have my own custom chapter. How is the neck run coming along? I haven't worked, actually. I got him right over here. He is the same amount of doneness as last stream. Actually, it's not a bad idea to work on him. Yeah, no, that's not a terrible idea to continue these guys with the spooky theme. I kind of wanted to do some custom characters for my chapter. One, so I can actually do the video stuff on it, and so that the next time I play, I don't have to proxy all the models that I want to use. I don't know. I can work on the Necron, and I have 3 models I want to work on. I got Emperor's Champion that I'm going to turn into... God, that glare. That I'm going to turn into a captain with a relic shield. And that's going to be my chapter master eventually, if I ever get to that point of leveling up that captain. The other model that I need to do, and I am proxying, but I want to take this Crusade Ancient and just turn it into a Blade Guard Ancient. I figure that'd be really fun to kind of run. And I actually have one in my army, so I kind of want to do that. And I also want to make a chapter or like company champion, stuff like that. Some unique character. And I figured using this, I'm going to butcher it, Exector. I butchered that, and I know I did. Using this unique guy. I know he's supposed to be a melee-based chaplain, all that stuff for Black Templar. But this feels like it'd be really good to make a nice company champion out of. And if I do feel like painting, I do have this. I know he's a Librarian of Phobos, but I changed him up. I'm probably going to run him as like a Lieutenant in Phobos armor, or Reaver, or maybe a Lieutenant in with combi weapon. All good options, and I'll probably switch between doing for all this guys, or for all this guy. He gives me strong Wild West vibes, so I'm tempted to go with the combi weapon to give him like lone op and stuff like that. But who knows? We'll see if I even get to painting and all that. I guess if I really want to, I will work on the Necrons. I probably should. He'll sit on to the side. So, I think for the very least, I'm going to work on this sucker and get him done. At least get him built. Should definitely get him primed. But how's everyone doing? for all those that celebrate it, how are people enjoying their Halloween week and everything? It's kind of crazy to think that Halloween's like tomorrow. This week has flown by for me. It's been pretty busy. Ooh, I haven't played that. I'm gonna have to check that out. I'll have to check that game out. I am kind of itching to play some games. I've been good. Like I said, I've been busy. Monday was busy just hanging out with friends playing Magic. And then Tuesday with the Crusade. Wednesday... It's a remake of the... I haven't played Ghost Remastered in... I haven't played Ghost in general. Or Ghostmaster in general. So that's why, like, oh, I'll have to check it out and see how it is. Let me get my thoughts in order here for a sec. I would have loved to stream on Wednesday, but I had some friends come over and we did a movie night, which was really nice. I got to cook for them. The original's $5. Okay, I might grab it and check it out. Okay, I'm looking at all the Templar iconography on this guy and trying to figure out what I can remove and what I don't need to leave on. I might need to pull from my bag, or not my bag. I'm definitely going to grab some parts to do some kit bashing, or just change all things here and there. Remakes on sale. Okay, so I'll probably grab the remake over the original. But no, I had a good movie night. It was really nice. I haven't cooked for like a bunch of people in a while. It was nice to actually like get in the kitchen and do some cooking again. For those that are like from Ireland and stuff like that, I don't know if I have anyone as that audience, but either Ireland or UK. If you know what a spice bag is, I tried remaking one as an American, and I wasn't as good as I remember the ones over in Ireland, but it was still like good and nice to have one. Helped us reminisce. And we watched The Truman Show last night. Really good movie. Kind of realized like how messed up that movie kind of is. But if you haven't seen it, definitely watch it. Jim Carrey is the main actor in it. And I don't even know how old that movie is at this point, but honestly, I would recommend stop watching stream and go watch that movie instead. I forget how old it is, but just to kind of like summarize it, a movie studio company bought the rights. They bought the rights, but they also adopted a human child like before they were born and stuff like that. And he's the only one that doesn't know he's being filmed all the time. Everyone around his life is a paid actor. So they just make him live this certain life. And then he just slowly over times, like over the years, breaks. He eventually escapes, is what it boils down to. We are going to remove this Black Templar symbol. I know I probably have Black Templar players screaming at me right now. They're like, how dare you remove this and all that, but I'm going to throw in my own iconography or little bits here and there. Ooh, I've heard that's good. I've not seen that either. I'm really bad at watching stuff in general, because I spend more time just watching videos on YouTube. But yeah, that I've heard is good. I am so sad that a lot of the characters die in that. That's what I remember. Like, almost all the characters die. You got a free mini from the Warhammer website. What? Like, you were able to get the mini of the month off of their website, or did you accidentally get one shipped for free to you? And yeah, anime is not for everybody out there. I fully know that and realize that, but some of them are really good and have better stories than actual TV shows and stuff that are playing. You unalready got a free one. I am curious on how you got that one for free. Oh, and talking about minis, I'm going to step away for a second. Yeah. Talking about minis, last weekend... Oh, excuse me. Oh, it was a subscription freebie. That's good to know. So, last weekend when I went to the Warhammer store, it was like their 25th year anniversary and all that. I preemptively saved myself money, because for those that are in the Discord know that with some of the Christmas boxes that are coming out, I want to get the Krieg box because of the siege machines and all the guys you can get in it, and mostly also for the command squad. Well, I went to the store looking for one particular mini, but they didn't have it. It wasn't the captain with the relic shield. I don't want that one. It was actually the Age of Sigmar one. They didn't have it, so I bought myself the Krieg Combat Patrol that came out. Yes, this is $170, but it technically saves myself money. And I will definitely be using this for my guard army. I'm thinking next year, or when I get the Space Marines finished, I'll be moving over to guard. Not that I won't stop using Space Marines, but just like painting and building guard a lot. But this last Tuesday, the Age of Sigmar model that I wanted from Games Workshop that they didn't have, I got at my local store. Which, if I get into Age of Sigmar, I want to do either a Chaos or a Seraphon army. I have some basic warriors that are the Chaos ones, and I have a Seraphon Spearhead box. So I'm happy I have this, because I might run this as my Chaos Lord in there. Also, this feels like it'd be a really good kit bash for a regular Chaos Lord with 40k. I like this pose a lot. Maybe if you put a Space Marine head on it, kind of look a little bit bigger on the cape and stuff. Anyway, that's enough about that. I feel like if I was to get the free mini, though, from Warhammer, I might get the Eisenhorn mini. I want that. Yeah, that's probably like the one Inquisitor character I want. Because I've read most of his books. Actually, I think there's a few... There's either one more book or a few more books that still involve Eisenhorn. And I want to read them at some point. But he's definitely on the list of minis I want to get eventually. Okay, we got this chain around his neck. Now I feel like I gotta put something else back on his chest to kind of hide what I've done. Yeah, I gotta cut and clean some marks, don't I? I do. I got so preoccupied with clearing off the chest, I forgot to do some of these extra bits. So the last Crusade game that I played, I went up against Tyranids. Second time I've ever played against Tyranids. So I kind of knew what I was getting into. I came so close to winning. I think if I changed if I got rid of one model and changed it so I could have had more infantry instead of tanks, I think I could have won. I could have won my very first... not very first game, but I could have won, is how I feel. With the mission we were doing, it's like Scream into the Void. What clippers do I have? I'm just using the regular Citadel ones. I don't have any other ones. I've just been using these. I bought them like... I think when I first got into Warhammer, I didn't realize I needed clippers, so I had to go back down to the store the next day, and I bought clippers to like build. I know there's better ones out there that make it cleaner and don't really... I know these pinch. They do cut, but they more like pinch, if anything. And I know there's better stuff out there. I paid for them and I want to use them. But yeah, with that, I keep playing it in my head. I ran a different detachment. Usually I've done the Gladius detachment and I've not been able to run it that well. So I went with the Unforgiven Task Force one, and that went so much better. Like, that worked so much better with my current army list than like the Gladius one. So it's going to be one I'll keep using in the future. We played Screaming into the Void, and I was defender and my opponent was attacker. Like, and the purpose of defender, there's 2 objective points because we play 1,000 points. Not objective point, objective markers. Or objective points, yeah, I guess. I mean, if it works for you, keep using the tools you have. Don't just, like, spend a bunch of money. This knife came in... I got this when I was like 13, 15. It comes in this wooden box. It's something my parents got at like Walmart, and it was initially for like leatherworking, and I've just used it the entire time. I never really use this knife because it's too big. I like this one for the way my hand feels, and I've not opened up the package at all to get these blades out. But if I get back into leatherworking, which I probably should, I'll have to use that bit more. Oh, there is a name on there. I guess this brand is X-ACTO. It's not bad. I think it's like $15 in total for that whole setup. And I've had it for a while, so it's made its money worth back on me. But yeah. I also played a lot more aggressive than I normally do. Usually I try to hide a lot of my models. Like, first turn, yeah, I'll hide my model so I don't get shot at. I lost a tank in, like, round 1 of shooting. Because he has a Tyrannid that can just one-shot tanks. So I'm like, okay. I didn't realize. I mean, just also go to, like, a cheap hobby store in general. If you have one in, like, Europe and all that. Just like a general hobby place might have something similar. You can also just order it off of, like, online and get it shipped to you. Oh, you know what I've heard is actually kind of good for, like, beginners? I've heard buying the Gundam, not modeling kits, but, like, tool kits. I think they were, like 30 bucks, something like that. I don't know. But all, like, it comes with, like, the clippers, knives, and all that stuff to clean up with it, sanding sticks. I've heard those are actually, like, a really good first purchase for people that are, like, looking for tools. Oh, this is a new playlist, but I'm surprised this one's actually on there. It's a good song. I'm glad it's on here. So I'm pleasantly surprised. But yeah, to kind of just finish my game before I fully lose it. I survived until battle round 5. So the max score anyone can get is 90. And I held him off all the way until turn 5. Where I did do something stupid but bad on my part, but I did it for narrative. Well, I'm not saying, like, Gundam in general. I was saying online, if you look up, like, Gundam toolkits, I think is, like, what they are, or something similar. That, like, might be exactly what you could get for all the tools. Excuse me. I left a gap for my opponent to be able to go through and take one objective that I wasn't holding. No, you're good. You're good. I figured I'm going to keep going on with the story. This is how I look at it. I'm going to keep telling the story, but I might get distracted for a second, but I'll go back to the story. So it'll be, like, disjointed is the word I think I'm looking for. But no, don't feel bad for it. You're asking questions, and I'm just happened to remember this random bit of information I once saw. I've not bought any of those kits. I probably could. Not that I need to. But yeah, my opponent had, like, a bunch of infantry models. I was really debating. The hard part is trying to match your opponent in points. So my list is 1,995 points. That's with enhancements and all that stuff added into my models. And my opponent is playing at 1,000, so I have to, like, figure out how to get to 1,000 points from all my models. I think I should have ran with a little bit fewer points. I could have... He was okay with me going like 5 or 10 over in points. And I probably should have. I just didn't want to have like a character by himself or running with the wrong style army. This is being annoying. Can I have you sit where I need you to? Do you sit like that? Is that how you want to sit? No. Back foot. Come on, come on. I see a line where it looks like it should line up, but it doesn't want to line up. Honestly, maybe I should leave it like there. And then... because there's a front shin part that's supposed to go on. So we'll just dab a little glue there, and we're going to dab a little glue in here. And let it kind of pull apart. Anyway, to my previous Crusade game before this, my Warlord, which is captain with a relic shield and all that stuff, who is my first company captain, and I want to have him level up to become chapter master, because I want him to become like the hidden 13th member of my game. Like, this Crusade I'm playing is building the lore for my chapter on like some of the stuff they've done. So I failed that previous game and I got a battle scar on that character, and I decided, you know what, this is the second time he's gotten a battle scar. I removed the first one, but I'm keeping this one, and I'm giving him the battle scar Disgrace. And there's an agenda when you play Space Marines that if you have like Disgraced or Mark of Shame or stuff like that, you can do this agenda where if you kill a character model, you get that battle scar removed completely for free. And with Disgrace, you can't use stratagems on that model at all. Actually, not just on the model, on the unit that it's attached to at all. There's a couple other things I think it does, but the main one is the stratagem. So really using like, okay, whoever he gets attached to, I'm like all in on just its abilities. There's like no way of like helping me until I do this. So my opponent had 3 characters that I wanted to try getting. He had a winged Hive Tyrant, which I thought was his Warlord, but it wasn't. He had a Brood Lord Gene Stealer, and then he had another one. I don't know its name, but it's got a big brain and tentacles that come down on the side. So I can't remember its name, and if I could probably look it up and tell y'all, but I don't think it matters that much. Ooh. So a cross or sword? That is a sword. It looks like on his shin. We're going to leave it. We're going to leave that sword. Okay, that's the part we do after that. I thought this is the part I need. So I had a couple options. I think it's also besides characters if I like destroy a monster as well. It's like character or monster. It was probably the Neurothrope. That's probably what it was that he had, because he had it also going with like a couple other like brain bugs that I know you can fight in like Space Marine 2 and stuff, and they're like the Zoanthropes, I think is their name. So anyway, I'm like, okay, if I get the opportunity to kill any of these characters or monsters, I need to hop on it and make sure I do it. I probably should have gone for the Hive Tyrant, but I was a little bit nervous of like, okay, it's a Hive Tyrant. I don't want to lose a bunch of guys to it. So, it just so happened the boss one is a Neurothrope. It might have been what it is. I honestly don't remember. But I had some bikes taking on like some models that were in a position that if I moved out of the way, they would have come and tried to do the action. So I was like, okay, bikes, you go deal with that. Hive Tyrant went and helped out his buddies that were being attacked by the bikes. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then he brought his Gene Stealers out with the Brood Lord. And I'm like, okay, this is my time. I don't think I'm going to win this game, but I'm going to try my best to at least do these secondary objectives for myself. Again, I held him off. We cut it early at like turn 4, but we talked about like the last 2 turns on like what we would try to do and like what we would get done. So like that last turn, we just talk through it. And pretty much how... Okay, to stay on topic. Before we did the talk through, I moved my Blade Guard, shot at the Gene Stealers to kill a couple of the models, and then I did a charge. And it was like I needed an 11-inch charge for like a different unit, didn't get that one, and then needed an 8-inch charge for getting to the Broodlord and stuff. And I rolled an 11. So I was able to get to the Broodlord and surround him with... So, the models that I had with my captain. I had my captain with Relic Shield. 6 Blade Guard Veterans. And a Blade Guard Ancient. All in this unit. And I sent that toward these Gene Stealers. To be like, I'm killing this character for my own shame. I am doing this for glory. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to win, but I'm going to try my damnedest to at least come away with something. And I rolled really well with the Blade Guard that I wiped out the entire Gene Stealer unit. So it just left the Broodlord. And I did enough damage to the Broodlord that it had like a couple wounds like removed off it. And then the Ancient didn't do anything to it, or at least it did like 1 damage to it. So then I went in with the Captain. And for those that know, like the Captain have an ability called the Finest Hour where you can add 3 attacks to their already like 6 attacks. So I went and I did like, you know what? Here we go. Full glory, full send. We're sending 9 attacks at the Broodlord. And I took down that Broodlord. Actually, I might have a picture of it too. Let me find a picture real quick and I'll show y'all. I posted... Was it here? No. Oh, game photos. That's where I posted it. So I gotta save these to my computer real quick. So, I'm going to... Where is image? There we go. So, this huge block, I think initially, like, I took out, so in that image, I took out 2 models beforehand with a tank, and then I killed 1 gene stealer through shooting, or I might have killed a few more, but I don't remember. So then it was the fight of going through those 2 to get to the Broodlord, and those guys chewed through that unit. It was so nice to be able to, like, because the other image I have, there's one more. We were taking photos for the game and all that, and my opponent did this, where when I finally killed the Broodlord, he just turned it on his side dead. And the captain did that, and I was so happy. Because that meant, okay, cool, I can use stratagems now on this model. I can use stratagems on the whole unit. Again, no stratagems the entire game, so I didn't want to lose a single guy. And through the talk-through, he sent that big tanky unit to my guys up there. Probably would have killed quite a few of the guys, because he has an ability that, like, big guns never tire, so he can still shoot while engagement range. Probably would have lost most of the guys there. I would have done the stratagem to, like, that allows me to fall back and to shoot and charge if I want to. And I would have taken that unit and put it up to a group of Termagants that were going to that objective that was completely open up at the top. So awesome that I did this cool thing, but it left me open that I couldn't win the game pretty much. Like, that was it. But I did this more for my story, less for actually winning the game. So I had a Pyrrhic victory is what I look at it as. And a lot of times you do end up with Pyrrhic victories. Yeah, for Death and Glory. I like to think the reason why that unit did so well is because I added the Blade Guard to that unit. So now we are giving that Blade Guard the proper model that he deserves. Not that I don't appreciate the model I did use, because I used the Ancient from the Company Heroes box as the proxy model. But I think it seems fair to give us a pretty cool Blade Guard Ancient model. And I am going to go through and use most of the parts from this Blade Guard Ancient kit. I'm just going to, like, change a couple, like, add-ons here and there, probably. I don't have a name for the Blade Guard either. I do want to give him a name. I don't know what. I haven't spent time to, like, write a bunch of thematic names for myself. Okay. The Horn of Hell. Hold on. Hell Hammerhand was sounded that day. It was very much so. And I am very happy. And that also was the very last game that I had to do for that Oathsworn campaign. I did the like Legends one, and I think pretty much the universe was like, oh, you're trying to be really cocky here? Nope, we're gonna humble you down. And once I got humbled enough, it's like, okay, we'll give you a kind of victory. Here's a sentimental victory. I probably should have actually kept that unit back the entire time just to, like, be a deterrent from being attacked or charged at any point. Because I think winning the game more would have been better, but I don't know. I'm happy either way. If I got rid of the... If I switched out... What blew up the first turn was a Gladius Lancer, which is, like, my best anti-tank thing I have, but that got blown up by his anti-tank first turn. So, like, if I got rid of that and I threw in, like, a unit of Hellblasters and... Okay, had, like, a character, which the only character I had left was the Chaplain and Terminator armor, which I haven't used him at all in my games yet, or my Deathwing Knight, so I really want to my next game. I have no idea how to pronounce that last part. I do know the first part's fourth, but I don't know how to say that. I don't want to butcher that last part. Errorlingus? I try so hard not to, like, butcher words and stuff like that. But it was a good game. When I do name characters, it's from the Lord of the Rings. King Theoden said it. Oh, or Theoden. Theoden said it. That's what I meant, not Theoden. Actually, that's not a bad spot probably to steal some names from. I want to go with, like, very, like, I want to go with, when I name characters or units, I kind of want to go that dino theme / like, knightly theme. Because my captain, his name is Draco Rex, which is the name of a dinosaur, but it also means Dragon King. So I'm like, oh, I'll just play with that. So I have, like, the Blade Guard name as, like, the Dragon Guard, or no, it's Dragon Shield is what I've named the Blade Guard. And I didn't name the Impulsor, or maybe I did. But I'll sit. They're a mixed chapter, but so yeah, they're mixed Gene C Dark Angel models in my list. The only Dark Angel models I have are Inner Circle Companions and Deathwing Knights. The Inner Circle Companions I've used a few times. I run them with a Judiciar. I'm trying hard to get the Judiciar to do his ability. Actually, I named the Judiciar Alexander, hopefully to, like, offset him dying the very first game I ran them in. And he came close. Through the talk through with my opponent, I actually got him to my opponent's Warlord. And I was 1 wound away from killing his Warlord, which would have been big for the aspect of honor points. We need to make Lord of the Rings, but with Space Wolves. That's not a terrible idea. You could do Space Wolves or Dark Angels. Oh, do both. Do both. That would be a fun book. Oh my god. If they did Lord of the Rings and... Okay. Random idea that I'm throwing out there. We remake Lord of the Rings, but it features the lion, and we bring back Leman Russ. Leman Russ and the lion are the two, like, kings that reunite, and both their armies are there to, like, fight back against Eldar. Because, like, yes, I know the elves, dwarves, and humans all band together to help, but It's 40k. Hell, you could even throw the Voton in there. The Voton in there for your dwarves. Oh, yeah, no, I'm not saying Chaos as the main villains. Like, no, Chaos is still the main villains. I'm just throwing in, like, how you can have the other factions be in there and be, you know, stuff they fight. You can have the orcs in there because orcs. You can have the Voton there for the dwarves because, you know, they're the dwarves. The Eldar are there for the elves, but everyone's just going to end up killing... The Imperium's just going to end up killing the Xenos. It doesn't matter. That's what's going to happen. You could do Chaos, or you could do the Tyranids. I think Tyranids would be a bit better. Ah, you sneaky, sneaky bastard. I see your Templar iconography there. We're going to remove that off your fist. Yeah. They team up out of convenience against the orcs and Tyranids. And if you really want chaos there, then do like the Thousand Suns for the Space Wolves. Sad Black Templar noises. The Black Templars are off trying to find Gazgul somewhere else in the universe. I do kind of feel bad taking off these Black Templar, like, details and stuff. But I am making my own. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I think it'd be funny to, like... Not funny. It'd be terrifying to have both the Tyranids and the orcs go after, like, everyone else. Like, yeah, the orcs and Tyranids are fighting everybody. But, like, that group of Votan and Eldar and Space Marines team up just to, like, go against that one massive threat. You gotta make it something that's worth going and teaming up against. Or if you really want to do... Okay. Two thoughts going here. If you wanted to bring Chaos in, you could do the Death Guard, or I guess Nurgle Demons, because the Eldar are trying to get, like, their healing goddess back from Nurgle. So you could have the Eldar just be unwilling to ask for help from the Imperium to get back their goddess from Nurgle. And, of course, it's Chaos. They don't want to give that up. So you could have chaos there, and then the orcs are there because it's orcs. I mean, orcs are at every big fight out there. Although, surprisingly, there are no orc players at this Crusade game that I'm playing. I am kind of surprised. We have no orc players. I'm like, we're at a fight. There has to be some sort of orc player here at some point. Also, talking about that Crusade, I want to get my captain to legendary status so bad. Yeah, I want him to get the legendary status or like the next one up, because there's a antique, I think it's the word, antique relic I want to get that's in the Dark Angel book. It's 4 up against monster and vehicles, and I'm like, I want to throw that on my captain so bad. Eventually, I'm gonna get it. He's gonna get that. He actually leveled up twice from this past Crusade game, and I feel like when I do level him up, is when I switch him out for this model, and say that's the sword that I want to put on him. Yeah, that makes way more sense. Orcs are the secondary faction. Is that going to be how you go on? I think so. Cool. Okay. So we're at this point. Now we're going to get into doing some extra stuff. I do need to do the pauldrons that are going to go on this guy. But I need to find a helmet, something for his chest, and a couple of other things that I want to do. I'm also curious if I should do the shield or sword. I think I might go with the shield. Be a good spot to put the chapter's symbol on there. Logan Grimnar. Would it be Logan Grimnar, or would it be what's his name? He's a dreadnought. Bjorn. Would it be Bjorn instead? I feel like Bjorn would be a really good one too. Yeah, it is a good song. I went on to the page that I get the music from, and just want to try a new one. It is Avellino 2000 Miles is the name of the song. The lion. The lion would be Aragon. Listen, I said the two kings. Aragon is technically a king in that movie, so that's the lion. And then you could have Lehman Russ be the old looking Primarch that then like not old looking, but he's that old looking king that eventually gets a spell broken off him and then becomes young looking again. So you could just have like somehow Lehman Russ is able to use his powers to make himself look like an old man, and then kind of throw in the lion's face that he can actually look young. Oh, that would be fucking hilarious. That's interesting. I think it depends on like the song if it makes me sad or not. I don't think I've ever really gone sad and listened to like lo-fi beats. I've just like chilled out to them. Oh yeah, this is another character that I was eventually going to do. Could give him a base and paint him. This came out of the original Space Wolf Combat Patrol. This was the lieutenant for that. And I wanted to make a unique character, and I kind of did some battle damage and stuff. I might paint him up and run him as a special lieutenant. Or he even could be part of like the Death Watch. Because you can't see his shoulder at all. I'll keep him in mind. I'll probably give him a base. No, I think that's a normal thing that like music makes people emotional. I'm drawing a blank. What am I? Bitbox. I need to get my Bitbox. 1 second. Interesting. Could be very interesting. It's always kind of nice, like when you can have little fun, like not official stuff, but like you can just come up with something funny and all that. Okay, that might have the helmets I'm looking for. That might be what I'm looking for with some of them. That is an extra bit box, which I will definitely be using. Put that back. Why not both? I say why not both? I mean, the main reason is, like, your wallet is the reason why you wouldn't want to do both, but I like the look of some Chaos Knights, and I like the look of some Loyalists, or like Uncorrupted Knights. That's all Custodian bits. What's this? This is Tyrannid bits. Okay. No, that's smart. Like, save your money where you want to, like, save it. I'm at the point of, like, okay, I've bought everything I want to buy. The whole FOMO on Space Marines is kind of weared off on me. Or it's worn off. I feel like if you're going to do Knight, you should do it where it's... And... Should I throw this helmet on? Should I throw on the Lion's helmet on this Space Marine model? What is the size difference between a helmeted Space Marine and on the Primarch's head? There's a little bit of a difference, but not by much. Okay. I know I probably slightly avoided your question a little bit, but what I would say is don't give up fully on one thing or the other. Like, if you really don't enjoy, you know, Black Templar, then, yeah, like, get out of it if you don't enjoy it. But I wouldn't fully give up on it. For the simple fact of, it could be just a little phase that you're feeling. Like, you might actually still enjoy painting them later down the road. There we go. We got one Blade Guard helmet. Actually here. And I could even do a hooded helmet. If you want to try that, and I say go for it, just hopefully you're not like spending a bunch of money you don't need to spend. What's the difference between these two heads? This one looks more like a firstborn head. That's the main thing. I kind of want to, just for like how funny it would be to throw this head on. I'll leave it there to the side. It's not one I'm going to actually use. I guess what I have to say is just don't spend money you don't need to spend money on. Or yeah, like, don't spend money on things you don't need to spend it on. If there's... Like, would the thing be cool? Yes, it would be cool to do. I'm not disagreeing with that. Excuse me. Sorry, I've not been keeping up with chat that well. It's something that like I've experienced myself, where you lose interest in something. Like, I have many projects that I've picked up and not finished here in front of me. Like, hell, I still got to do the 1,000 points in 20 days. I have not continued that at all since my, like, last stream doing them. And it bugs me that I'm not doing it. And I'm starting another project for another thing. Okay, we could do this helmet, but I don't think we are going to do this helmet. Or this head. It's not a bad hooded head. I don't think it just works for what I need it to do. Also, Leaf, you're not wrong. A lot of the Primarchs are people. Yeah, like, so just like Leaf said, they all come in waves. Like, we're going to put projects on hold. Like, yeah, I started this Necron guy. Do I want to continue him? Yes. But I also want to finish up some other projects I've started or have here on hand before I do any more. And for me, the hard part is Warhammer is an expensive hobby to just kind of pick up and start new little projects in. It's expensive, and it's hard to, for me, it's becoming hard to justify, like, starting all these new projects. And maybe that's, like you said, Necromunda, that's not a bad idea. Maybe having a smaller game to put your, like, to put models into. Like, Kill Team's fun because you can, you know, create all these unique units or models to do all these kind of things, just different things. Okay. It's not glued. I'm not going to glue it. I'll bring them up to the camera. Get them properly into the light if I can. But we're going to go with that. I have one spare Blade Guard head in my pile. I think that's going to be really cool right there. Sorry, it's like 9:30 for me here, and I probably should get sleep at some point, but yeah. Set those aside because I do need to actually work on those at some point. If I can at least get this guy built, I'll be happy. And I'll do something unique for his base. Thinking back on that night thing, and that's not it's not a bad idea. It'd be cool to see one like play an air guitar and all that. Yeah, just, you know, to build armies for like regular Warhammer, it has a lot to do. That's why I've enjoyed the smaller armies, or the smaller army games. Like doing Combat Patrol has been nice because it's not as large of an army that I need to like paint and all that. And I saw a thing on Kill Team, like, you can kind of, or I saw a thing about Kill Team. If there's not a specific Kill Team that you like out there, you can make your own Kill Team units and just kind of run them as is. Like, God, I did a Kill Team stream for like a custom Kill Team I wanted to do, and two of the models in that, like, most of them were like regular guys that were a part of the Kill Team. But like, when I do finally run them, they're going to be some more unique characters. Like I was running a Inner Circle companion in the list that I was going to use as an assault intercessor, just with the power sword, so he'll run more like a sergeant. And then a heavy intercessor with the shield and power sword, and won't have that like gun ability and stuff like that. And what else? Like there's a, I was gonna run an assault intercessor again with another power sword, because there's the blade champion in the company hero box. So I don't think it's a terrible idea to do something more fun and unique every once in a while, or even just have it be a model like this. I'm doing a different model than what's normal, but that's the fun part about this hobby, is you can make all these like cool unique guys, and you can have them have a story and mean something to you. And that's the person that it really matters at the end of the day. Like, it matters to you. I don't really want to use this shoulder pad bit, but I think I have to. Just trying to think what I'll make it look like. Ooh, idea. Once I have this cleared up, what if I looked up a couple symbols and stuff that I could paint on here? Like, not just his chapter symbol and all that, but like maybe something a little more unique. Yeah, I think that is what I'll do. Like, for those that know what model I base this off of, like, okay, cool. Like, you know it's a Black Templars model, but it's not going to look Black Templars that much. I like the idea of, like, things being chained to them. I do like that. That's a very cool aesthetic thing for me. So I will definitely be keeping that with my guys. I do need to find the upgrade sprues for the Black Templar, because I bought that big box that gives you the relic sword, and I didn't realize there was another unique relic thing in there, which I guess is a demon that the Black Templars killed, or not even a demon, it was like a weird alien, and they had the skull of it, that it affects psychers like really bad. So I'm like, oh, that's something that I know I destroyed and threw. I'm pretty sure I used it to make this, because I know that arm and chain was used to make this looking model, and I know I pulled that from the Templar box as well. Okay, now I gotta do your other pauldron, and that's gonna be some more cutting and cleanup as well, but I am okay with that. I do gotta change some stuff up in the Crusade list, because initially I could run my Captain and Blade Guard in the Impulsor, but that can only carry 7 models. And if I run the Blade Guard Champion with them, I think I want to like keep running him consistently in the army. I'm gonna have to find a different transport to carry that big block in, which is something I dealt with last game. I do have like the Land Raider Redeemer in my list. That's 270 points, and it's hard to justify to like throw into a game, and I have not thrown him in a game yet, or thrown it in a game yet, and I want to. I have very few models that have not been in a game now, and I think I have like three models have not been in the game. 4, but I just added the 4th one. So I have to like put him in the game. That's why I think my next Crusade game I am bringing the Terminators. They are the main unit going in. So I have to find some way to make that work. I would have loved to made this a hooded Blade Guard helmet. I think that would have fit a lot better. Oh, should I try? Should I try to make it a hooded helmet? That... I could do that. Get some green stuff and actually try to mold some stuff around it. That wouldn't be a terrible idea. Just hold them up a little bit. That. Is coming together nicely so far. The only things I've changed has been his helmet. But cutting off the other iconography and all that have been very helpful. Now I'm going to find something to throw onto his chest. Luckily, I have all these bits. I do have these like really tiny little pieces I can throw on. Could even do a really long thing, but I don't think I will. Did I throw it back in here? I think so. I might run that campaign shield instead of the one I have in here. Oh, that's got some bones in that one. We might do that instead. Some relic bones. It's not a terrible idea. We got a tiny thing to something. Okay, we got 2 contenders so far. And then a bunch of little skulls. Okay. Most of these have come from like the assault intercessor box. There's other little random bits here and there that I have saved off of sprues. Okay. The bones I'll put to the side. Not feeling the bones too much. The skulls would be kind of cool, but that does hang down pretty low. So I think if I cut that bottom off and throw that on, it's a little bit like that initial cross symbol, but it's not a cross. Well, either you can pay someone to do it or you can make it yourself. Because I am not drawing that. Unless you pay me. But, yeah. I mean, that's the beauty thing. Like, when you are like an artist or anything like that, you can just create the pieces in your head. They're never going to be exact to what you like think they'll be or hope they'll be. But you're the only one that can get it as close as possible. Well, at least within your skills. Okay, we are going to put a dab of glue there. The one thing I don't have is a pair of tweezers to do this really finite throwing stuff on like chests and all that, like moving them around and everything. We're going to set it on. Come on. I'm getting close. Just no cigar. I'm gonna cut a little notch where I want that thing to sit. Oh, that's actually not too bad. I'll hold it up. Kind of swings off to the side. So he's moving forward and it's being thrown up. Or it's being thrown off over the side of him. It's not bad at all, actually. I might actually stick with that. There. No more touching it. Right there. I like that. I like that as well. Honestly, who is to say that Magnus isn't a big anime fan? What is the size difference between these two shields? Ah, there's quite a size difference. But I know what I want to do. I want to use this, but if it's too big, I want to steal the little tails off this and put it on that. So I'll keep that there for now, so I know that's what I want to do. Honestly, it kind of makes sense that if Magnus would be into... I feel, out of all the Primarchs, Magnus probably is an anime weeb out of all of them. He probably watched Sailor Moon on his, like, Psyker planet. And that's where he got most of his magic ideas from. Maybe Aramon was trying to recreate scenes from Sailor Moon. And that's why everyone turned to dust. Actually, I've not seen Sailor Moon, so I don't really know what goes on in that anime. Nor do I think I really want to watch it. I know it's like a good anime for some people, or some people think it's good. I'm not going to disagree with them on all that, because I haven't seen it, so I don't have an opinion on it. Okay, so... Oh, do you want to be? You want to be like that? Okay, okay. I see. And Zinch is just standing in the corner like, all according to my plan. That's 100% what Zinch would be like. Oh, no! I took off his little chest thing. That wasn't fully glued on. No! That got removed. Oh, you bastard. You absolute twat wuffin mad bastard. Look at my fingers. Oh boy. This is the finicky part that I don't like. Okay. I got it. Kind of on there. And that's back to where it needs to be. I know tonight's not going to be a very long stream because I do have to go to bed like on time, but I want to at least get something done and out for y'all. Because the next stream I have is on Saturday, and that's going to be continuing the game me and Ben have. I know that went on... We're only on turn 2. The beginning of his turn 2. Are we at the beginning? No, we're at the beginning of turn 3. No, it is turn 2, because I'm attacker and he is defender, I think. Oh, I can't even freaking remember. I don't know. We might... Maybe I'll message him and we'll switch it to being combat patrol just because of time. And I can't remember where everything was and what turn we were on and all that stuff. And we can actually do like a proper game, not just like, oh, we're doing this. And then like, oh no, we're actually doing Crusade style game. And I'm like, it was unprepared and ill-planned is how I will say. I wanted to do something, but I didn't want to use the cards in Tabletop Simulator for it, so I don't know. I'm trying to remove this Templar symbol. I'm sure like all these guys have the Templar symbol on their backpack. I don't know if that guy doesn't. And then he's got Templar symbols all over him that I'm going to have to figure out what to do about. Won't be too bad. I might just cancel... Well, I say cancel. I might ask if he doesn't rather not do the game. And then I could do like a proper Halloween game. How they would react to Wukong? Which version of Wukong is going to be my first question. Although I don't know all the versions of him out there. I would assume the whenever one of them even try to like attack him for anything, they're gonna get flattened because Wukong is like immortal times 7, if I understand like basic lore correctly. He's like super immortal and has a bunch of really like not dumb, but he's got like all these weird abilities here and there that he can just do. Okay, that is done. Okay. That is... interesting. I guess, yeah, he is with a power sword. Not just a close combat weapon, so... It is a bit tougher than, regular... weapon stuff and all that. I think for now, that's probably a good spot. I'm gonna stop. Angron would get flattened. Gilman likely won an immediate attack. Probably a bit of research first. Yeah, I won't disagree with that. But I'm gonna call that for tonight. I'm gonna get some sleep because I gotta be somewhere by 10 in the morning, and I haven't been getting up at the time I should be getting up. So I should try to get some rest tonight. Next stream will be Saturday, so I'm hoping to do something also as fun. Whether I do more of these characters, or we do some painting, or we do something different. But I hope you all enjoyed. If you want to see more, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, but you don't have to. Just having you here is more than enough. If you want to support the channel, I have a Ko-fi account that you can donate to. But like I said before, you don't have to do that. Just having you here to chill and watch and just be a part of the community is more than enough at the end of the day. Now, I want you to go out there and make something awesome. I know you will.